Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of A Wake Up Call. I am your host, Chris Alicia. This is Sadie wandering around behind me. She will definitely rat fuck all of my stuff if if I just let her wander around. And there she goes up on my altar. Thank you guys so much for coming back and for listening. Today, I want to talk about something. A continuation of last week's topic which was life between lives. With the turmoil that's really going on in the world today, the shaking up of old allegiances, um, countries uh, getting into trade wars with each other, getting into actual wars with each other, a lot of posturing at leadership roles. I really wanted to dive into the choices that we make when we incarnate, specifically the choice of where our soul is born. The choices that we make when we're choosing, she's going into some of my drawers over on the side now. When we choose a space to incarnate in, we're not just saying, I want to grow up as an American or a German. I don't want to just grow up in Palestine. What we're saying is that we are taking on that place's karma. We're taking on that place's tools, the opportunities, the challenges that are presented uniquely to that area, to growing up in those areas. So when we talk about souls and the evolution of souls, how we come into this life to learn very specific things, and each life is a cumulative effort of our soul getting closer to source, becoming more empathetic, using our gifts more openly, becoming more connected to our higher selves while in physical form. The places that we choose to incarnate play a huge role in all of those lessons. And I'm in the US, so I was raised in the DC area. So that is the area that my soul chose to incarnate. And America has some very, very interesting karma. It has some incredible strengths and some incredible weaknesses. And if you think about those on a soul level, and because that's where I was born, I know it more intimately than some of the other countries. But if you think about the karmic tapestry that is America, uh, the settlers that came here during a time of their persecution in Europe, their persecution for religion, those people immigrated here to escape, to find a place to be themselves, to be their true selves. Now, the light of that, the tool of that, is it created a land filled with people that wanted to be uniquely themselves. They came here to strive and survive and to thrive in an environment outside of the norms where they had been relegated to for thousands of years in England and Germany and France and all those other places. They weren't just escaping, they were choosing to go into a place of unknown. So that the courage to do that, the courage to leave everything behind and to come to this place where they knew nothing, is imprinted in the soil. Now, the flip side of that is also what they did when they got here, which was taking land from other people. So that challenge of, well, you get to be uniquely you, but at the cost of what? Was the freedom of those pilgrims more important than the freedom of the people that were there? And this is not about history. This is not about who gets to write history, because often that is what skews our belief on it. I'm talking about the karmic imprint in the soil. So those people that were here have, when we get born into the United States, we are born with that innate courage, the patriotism that was born out of the Revolutionary War, uh, that rift that came of the Civil War that tore brothers apart. Um, our actions in the world wars and in the subsequent Vietnam and Korea, and then we got the war on terror. We have this identity that we have cultivated through years, and souls are born here to take on a piece of that identity, but also take on the karmic challenges that come with that, that come with the negative things that have been done on this soil, starting with the founding of it. And I use air quotes for that very specifically, because that intention, the intention that they used, that we used with doing each thing really defines whether it's good or bad in that traditional sense. Wanting to escape religious persecution, good intention. Pushing people off of their land so that you can have it, bad intention. It's it's not meant to be overly simple, but and I'm not going back to say whether those people are right or wrong, because again, this is not a history lesson. This is about the soul's journeys. So when my soul was born into this area, when other people's souls are born into America, we take on those karmic blueprints that are part of the land, and we get some of the tools that come with it, some of the spiritual gifts that come with it, including that outspoken, that forward-leaning, excited about change, excited about life, loud. We live life very loud. Uh, and those all can be wonderful things, but we also take on those karmic debts. So whether we were alive during the times of slavery and persecution of the natives that were here, uh, what's happening with the immigrants now, what's happening on the political situation now with America and all of that, whether we are actively involved in those things or we're alive for them is not the question. It's the soul ties that we have to it. So you look at slavery very specifically and what that did to the United States on so many different levels. The karmic ties of that are still so alive and vibrant in today's age that even though we weren't physically alive there, and we can't say, I experienced this, I know how this feels, it still plays a huge role in who our souls develop to be. So when you take that into consideration, when your soul is choosing a place to incarnate, it really is a massive decision that sets the blueprint for what your soul is going to get to experience. You look at a soul being born into South America or Africa, Japan, parts of the world that are very heavily cultivated and are considered older societies. So they have thousands and thousands of years of history, where our written history here in the United States is very young. Australia, they have a very similar karmic history to the US, both with the founding of land that already belonged to other people and how that has shaped who they've become. It is very important to understand our soul's choice and how our purpose as a soul, and every soul has a purpose when it comes down to this planet. You wouldn't come down otherwise. There'd be no reason to incarnate if you didn't have a reason, which sounds super redundant. If we understand the place, not looking at it as good or bad, understanding what has happened here, what that has created as far as energetic systems that are in place in the soil and the karmic ties, it gives you a pretty good idea of your soul contracts, the karmic lessons that you are going to have the opportunity to face, the cycles that you're going to have the opportunity to see. And especially as this time, what I've been seeing in my meditations, and I also am a channel. So when I go into meditation, I do channel information for angels, beings of light, star beams, whatever higher beings are willing to come through and speak to me. what I am receiving during this time is that it's like a karmic rebranding of boundaries. So we think of the map, that beautiful globe that we all see when we're growing up in school. The boundaries are being reorganized. They're shifting. The players are shifting. Who is considered powerful? Who is considered the protectors? Who is considered the villains? Who are considered third country, second country, undeveloped, dying? Those boundaries are shifting. They're changing, not just on a ground level, a 3D level, what we're seeing with all of this upheaval, but on an energetic level as well. So, what this time is giving us the opportunity to do is shift out of the traditional roles that our countries have had. And you think of the United States as it being a major player for at least since World War II, being very involved in other countries' developments. And prior to that, you look at England and Spain and France, which were our founders, being even more influential in the global environment and evolution. Those those countries are reaping what they have sown as far as colonization, as far as overreaching or trying to convert people to their way of thinking and being. You look at history as this wonderful cyclical thing, and it's not just the history of the earth, which is absolutely cyclical, but it's the energy as well. We constantly cycle through these opportunities, these times, in order to cleanse out and evolve from systems that no longer serve us. So although this time is very scary for a lot of people, well, it's scary for all of us. It's We don't know what it's going to look like tomorrow. We don't know what it's going to do to the financial footprint of the world. We don't know anything as far as that goes. But what I'm receiving from spirits is not only to have heart that this is intentional, this is what is meant to be, but the places that you are on the planet right now, where your soul has agreed to come, is going to help anchor in these shifts, these changes. If we treat location as our karmic teacher, as one of our ancestors, and we embody our countries in so many different ways, then what does this shift mean, not just for you, but for the energy of the places that you live? For the US, what I'm receiving for them is almost like taking a step back from the spotlight, being seen as it's not unnecessary, not being seen as unnecessary, but no longer being like an overlord of a lot of these places. It's going to give a lot of countries their voice in a way they probably haven't had before. They're going to have to find their own power. They're going to have to find their own path away from the path that the United States sets. And that's really a wonderful thing as far as the evolution of our countries, the evolution of our souls. We aren't meant to follow, and we're not meant to conform. And part of what's happening now with all this upheaval, and my father has this expression, and it's really meant a lot to me, which is unfeathering the nest. Many times throughout life, it'll feel like everything is thrown at you at once. Everything is crumbling down. Bad things don't just come in threes, everything that could go wrong is going wrong. And it is that time when when our nests are becoming unfeathered, that we are the most open to see what else is available. What am I missing? What other path can I take? It's the times where we're willing to go inside and say, well, what can I do for myself? What can I do to heal? What can I do to change? What can I do to evolve? What new job can I take? What new style do I embody? What new location can I live in? When you are kicked out of the nest, you got to learn to fly. And that's another, this is not just my nest being unfeathered, it's an unfeathering on a global scale. So think of all of those karmic ties that your locations have in the community, in the geography, in the religions that have shaped the land. And then think of how this shifting, this unfeathering is going to affect the very land that you're standing on. And then how is it going to affect you? But I ask that you step back and not look at it just from the 3D perspective, which is, and I totally get, I'm not minimizing the financial concerns. I told you guys last week, I was let go from my job. All of that's real. All of those 3D concerns are real in the sense that you got to eat. But it's a drop in the bucket of your existence. You're a sacred soul having a human experience. So if we can step back from the fear that this situation is causing and really tap into our soul's wisdom, what can we learn from this time? What can we gain from this opportunity where the United States isn't going to be a global leader in some of those respects, maybe in very few respects. Who knows what the United States role will be in the future, but it will be different. So, what opportunities does that present for others with new allegiances, with these new boundaries, both on the ground and in spirit? What does that look like for our souls? Part of this, and especially what I've been getting, the information I've been getting from spirit, is not learning apathy. It's not learning to separate yourself from what's happening, but it is looking at it from my spiritual self instead of my human self. If I were to look at the market crashing, uh, natural disasters, all of those things from a solely human perspective, even looking at losing a job from a human perspective, it would feel very overwhelming. But when I allow myself to look at it like a soul who chose to come down at this time, I chose to incarnate into the US. I chose certain gifts that I could use in this life, and I picked out the challenges that I was going to face, not just on a personal level, but on in this case, a global level. We all agreed to come to the planet at this time, in the shoes that you're in the locations that you are in. If we look at it through that intentional lens, how does this situation appear? How does this time appear? How does it appear differently? If we use the location and the time and history as our teachers, what can we learn, not just about our own souls, but about our soul community that has agreed to come down during this time? And I wanted to do a little meditation to breathe into this concept, to see if we can pull any messages forth, if any angels or anything want to come forward, but also to give you a little visual journey to connect with your soul's intention behind choosing to incarnate in the place that you did incarnate. So we're going to invite in some higher guidance. I might pull a card, if given to do so. And I invite you just to reflect on that message, to follow the journey, pull your own cards if you feel uh, inspired to do so. If you do get any message during this, please post them and share them with the group if you feel inspired to do so. So what we're going to do is we're just going to breathe into this moment. We're going to tap into the wisdom of location as the teacher. So settle into your space. Let your body hang heavy in the chair that you're sitting. And I want you to take a couple deep breaths in. Breathe in and out. In and out. We're going to call in the powers of the north, the power of earth, plant and animal kingdom. We're going to call in the powers of the south, of water, emotion, and flow. We call in the powers of the west, of air and intellect. And we call in the powers of the east, of fire, passion. We call in the elements of earth and we pull those into our heart center to link with us, moving and spinning in this beautiful heart chakra center, right in the middle of your chest. Feel the energy of those different elements as they merge within your heart. And feel the cord of golden light from that heart center, mixing all of the elements as it moves down through your body, out through the bottom of your feet, down through the layers of earth, deep into the core of Mother Gaia. This beautiful crystal core. Visualize as your golden string wraps around this cord, sending your deep love and respect for Mother Earth. And feel yourself open and expand as Mother Earth sends love all the way up through her center into your body. Stopping for just a moment in your heart center before it continues to move up, clearing your throat, your third eye, opening through your crown, mixing and merging with your energy as it goes all the way back to source. Feel yourself connecting to the source above, opening and pulling energy down. We ask for pure light to shower down. We call in Archangel Michael to surround us in a golden bubble of light, ensuring our connection to the above and the below is for our highest good. We ask that only information that is aligned and with our highest good be presented at this time. And as you sit in this space, we call forth any beings of light, any angels, star beings, ancestors, guides, who wish to come forward at this time with a message. Dear beings of light, welcome at this time of chaos and movement. We feel your fear. We hear your wings. Your dreams and your prayers reach us. This heightened level of consciousness is what will anchor in the shift. Be aware of your feelings and your thoughts at this time, for they have power to move mountains. You are these anchors of light. Call in love and light at moments of fear and desperation. Allow your higher self to guide your actions, to hold you in this time, to see through your eyes and speak through your voice. You are here for a reason, dear ones. And in this space and in this time, you are exactly where you need to be. Trust in your soul's purpose. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to accomplish. You are. Say out loud, I am that I am. Acknowledge your mission in this time. Settle into the energy and allow it to wash around you like a reed in the wind. This is a time of great excitement for us and for your souls, for the souls who are getting ready to journey down onto this planet. The shift is no longer gradual, but it can still be gentle. Allow yourself to root into Mother Earth, visualizing roots from your feet so she can anchor you, helping you to navigate the winds ahead. As an awakened being of light, you will move through this shift. Your timeline will appear to speed. You will walk through crowds of people as if they are moving at a slower speed than you. Embrace the journey, embrace the excitement, embrace this change. We promise you, we are here. It is for your highest good, and you are not only not forgotten, but you are deeply, deeply loved. Consider yourself warriors for coming to the planet at this time. Feel the power inside of you when you face what is to come, as you stand your ground and say, I am that I am. For today stands a great shift. With times to come, you will see the unraveling of time and space. Things that seemed permanent will disappear as if they never were. But you, dear ones, you are the constant. You are the anchors. Stand in your light. Stand for your light. Allow your mission to unfold before you. For you are divine. The places where your souls have been born were gifted by your presence. You have taken on those karmic debts to release them in this lifetime. Feel the anchors to those debts within your body at this time. They might feel like pain or pressure, the squeezing of muscles. If you are ready to release this karmic tie to your body, to the bodies of those around you who are also ready, say out loud, I release these karmic ties now. Feel as light penetrates your body, dissolving these anchors, removing hooks and tethers, allowing your physical body to feel lighter in this space and in this time. Your souls have great ties to this land, incarnations beyond number. Many of you are souls that were here at the very beginning, seeding the DNA path of the light beings. And you have returned to the place of your birth, to places you have felt called. Return to your heart centers. You reacquire these seeds of knowledge, these tools you have buried deep until it was time for you to recover them. Reach for these tools now, dear ones. You already know the way. You know what you must know. Look through the eyes of light. You are loved. You are safe. You are divine. And so it is. Allow yourself to stay in this energy, calling in more light to fill any spaces that were hollowed out by the removal of ancestral ties, the karmic ties of our land. Visualize yourself standing on your country, in your city. Feel your light body lifting above the earth, sending streams of light down to the places where you live. See them as ties of golden strings, each string slowly releasing and dissolving, making the land brighter, releasing things that no longer serve the souls on this earth. Feel yourself as you lower back down into this beautiful golden land. Feel the shift beneath your feet. Feel the lightness of your body. We are beings here for this specific purpose. We have chosen these places for divine reasons. Love the land that you are on. Love the souls that have agreed to come down at this time. We all have a reason for being here. Feel that truth. Feel how powerful you are. Feel yourself coming back into your body. Feel yourself sitting or laying on the surface of your chair. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a couple deep breaths in. Last deep breath, we close the sacred circle. We release the ties, and with deepest gratitude, open your eyes. Asking who it was that came through there. I'm being told it was the Pleiadians, which is one of the star systems most closely linked to ours. If you think of a planet's evolutionary journey, the same as a soul's evolutionary journey, when it evolves to the point of its completion, those souls can spread out and seed a new evolutionary cycle on a new planet. And Pleiadians were one of the primary contributors to this, the evolution of Earth, to seeding our evolutionary journey. And they've been so active and talkative was the word that I just heard at this time to anyone who's willing to listen and to people who aren't willing to listen because they feel so much love and ownership in the sense of a mother um, for the beings that they have helped to seed and the evolutionary cycle they helped to begin. And what I'm seeing on a global scale, all the souls that are out there in these different places, these souls that are awake or awakening, acting as torches, as funnel points, almost like straws planted in those places, allowing light from above and light from below to merge through and move through our bodies and help to cleanse not just the other souls, which is a part of our journey, is helping each other to awaken, helping to cleanse energy, but to cleanse the earth that we have chosen to incarnate on, and connecting those different points of light all over the globe to help with this higher shift, this integration from the 3D into higher dimensions of consciousness and understanding. That unfeathering feels so chaotic and scary because it's not just working on a political level, it's not just working in the news, it's working on our DNA. It's working on the soil. It feels unknown, and yet when I tapped into that energy just now, and please let me know if you felt it as well, it felt so familiar. It felt so deeply grounded. This isn't, nothing that's happening is new. Nothing that's happening is outside of our control. It's allowing us to be what we're meant to be. It's allowing our countries in their next evolutionary phase to be what they're meant to be, to the point where boundaries don't just shift, that they dissolve. And I promise to pull a card. So the card that I pulled, and I can never remember what deck this is, the Zen Tarot deck. The card that I pulled is the Four of Fire, and it's called Participation. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, you won't be able to see it, but if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see the card. It's four beings, each a different color, coming together in the center, forming what looks like a clover. But each petal of the clover is a different being, and they have their hands in towards the center of the clover. And in the center is a spiral. So this is really in line with what I just said, fire being action, this action of connecting to our higher selves, connecting to the collective energy of this time, not just of other light beings, but of Earth, of source energy. And we're connecting into this spiral, this action of transformation, this movement that's happening right now. But instead of getting blown around by it, they're very calm. They're participatory. They're participating in the shift. It's not happening to them, it's not happening around them. They are participating, they're active. And that is what we're being called to do. And when the being said there's nothing you have to learn or do, what I hear, and what, to add some context to that, it's saying that we're no longer students. We're no longer Padawan. We're no longer here to follow someone else's journey. That's not to say we don't continue to learn or gather information, but we have the tools that we need already. It's a matter of using them, of grounding into the energy, of calling in our guides and the angels and the beings of light, and connecting to each other, both virtually and energetically, virtually, physically, and energetically, and adding our energies, our gifts, our powers into this collective shift. So the swirl in the center of this card is a culmination of all of our energies. It's not just the Pleiadians, it's not just the Syrians, it's not just Earth or angels or anything else, although those are energies that are there. Those are the energies around the outside of this circle, these different layers of energetic support. We are the front line. We have agreed to come down to the planet to be the front line of this shift. And a part of that is participating. It's being open to it. It's standing in our spiritual selves and our spiritual energy while the 3D shifts. Because it's not just shifting on a 3D level, it's shifting on all the dimensions and all of the energy levels. And I know that I know that the message of location being the teacher is where I started. And it feels like the message towards the end is we are the teachers in our locations. Not only did we come down here to understand the karmic ties of those locations, we've come down here to clear them and to act as teachers for the next phase of that location's evolution. And on an energy level, that's not even about going out and teaching or doing podcasts or anything else. That's about holding your energy, holding your light, about connecting. And the amount of power that gives us over man's journey is pretty great. It's pretty incredible. And I hope you felt the power of their gratitude for coming down and incarnating. Nobody is saying that this is an easy time to be incarnated. If anything, this is the most challenging place to incarnate, Earth. One of the most challenging times to incarnate during not just the natural disasters and shifts and all the rest, but the global disasters, the times of war, the times of dot, 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 dot. Uh, a lot of the karmic things that humans haven't dealt with are coming time to pay. They're coming past due. This is the time that we came down for. We are warriors. We are here to be a part of this. We're here to participate. We're not just here to survive it. We're not just here to evolve as individuals and then hopefully we don't have to come back. Hopefully we've done it. We're here to be the warriors of light, to lead, to guide, to teach. We're here to be and to hold our spiritual selves in equal balance with our human selves. So no biggie, no pressure. I hope I hope those messages resonate with you. And I I appreciate the Pleiadeans for coming in and speaking, although they definitely derailed the agenda that I had for this podcast. But they're telling me they're right and I'm wrong, so not wrong. They're not saying I'm wrong, but they are laughing at my attempts to have an agenda in this world. Um, but that's really what I want to accomplish. That is why I've been asked, directed to do this podcast is for the journey of it. I have ideas of what I'd like to share, but at the end of the day, I want to be an open channel to help people stay in spirit, to find spirit, to connect with their spirit if they need that help, or just to reframe and have someplace they can go for spiritual clarity when the 3D world is constantly telling them life sucks. So I will continue to open to channel during these things, and if I get derailed on my agenda, then we get derailed. It's meant to be. So thank you guys so much for tuning in again. If you enjoyed this, please like or share comments. I've told myself I'm not going to pay too much attention to, I'm not going to pay attention to numbers. I'm not going to pay attention to all that. But if you do comment, I will do my best to get back to you. I would love to. I'm here to connect. I'm here to connect with. So if I can help on your journey in any way, if there's any topics that you want to delve into, if there's anything you want to ask Spirit about, we're on this journey together. So that's it for this episode of A Wake Up Call. Hopefully I will get this posted. Well, if you're listening to it, then it was posted. If you're not listening to it, then it's just on my computer somewhere, and that's my problem. But enjoy the rest of your week. Be kind to each other. Hold on to your light. Stand in your power. And I promise you, this is all exactly what's meant to be happening right now. All of it. So be kind. Good luck, and I'll see you again soon. Blessed be.